NFC Championship game, bro. Seattle beat the Rams 31-27. What you think?
Well, I picked Seattle to go to the Super Bowl, but also, when I hated to see the Bears lose.
Yep.
But I knew that game would be a better matchup with the Rams, and it came down to the wire.
Okay.
It was a hell of a game. But, I was the one knocking Sam Darnold. I guess sometimes it takes years to get it right. And what has he done, and Smith, the kid from Austin, he ball out. Seattle defense just unreal. Them and the Texans got the best defense in the league. And that's part of them getting where they at today. And, hey, them boys, that was a hell of a game.
For sure. I think Sam Darnold learned from last year when he was in Minnesota with the Vikings. He don't have to try to win the game. When you got a defense like that, you just got to make sure you don't get a game away.
Yeah, you manage
a
it.
la Coleridge, Bernard, Stroud the fourth, leading the playoffs still with turnovers. How you going to have 5 fumbles in a game and then turn around and have, 4 interceptions and a half? I digress. I'm sorry. Let's go. Let's move on.
Let's move on. We want to get started on Coleridge, Bernard, Stroud the fourth.
You mean a la garbage? Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
So, obviously, Darnold, 3rd round overall pick in 2018. This is his 15th. So, You know what? It's taken him a minute to get to the point where he's at now. He's gone through his bumps in the road, started off with the Jets, and he was garbage with the Jets. You got to call it what it was.
No, he was hard. I didn't like him out of college, truth to be told.
I liked him out of college.
Yeah, because every time, to me, he dropped back. I went to a couple of games at USC when he was there. It's like he just dropped back, don't read. He was so happy feet. And I thought he was just overrated because, one thing about USC quarterbacks, they get so much hype, which they had a lot of good ones come out of there, but they also had a lot of ones was a bust and wasn't even good to me coming out of USC. And that's how I looked at him. So I wasn't surprised when he came in the league. But a lot of times it's all about good system, what he do during the offseason. And I guess he handled his business because Frisco, he played pretty good, but went to Minnesota, went to another level. Now he's with Seattle. And like I said, I know Minnesota fired a GM today. They trying to blame him getting rid of Darnold, but that's a whole other subject. I don't know the whole lowdown. I know it just happened. We don't know the whole lowdown. But at the end of the day, he did what he's doing. Some people still don't want to give him credit. He ain't won a Super Bowl. I think he got to the Super Bowl, though. And he had one bad game this year. It was against the Rams, I think, early in the season.
Right.
And it was horrible. But he came back and made it up, and, hey, it is what it is.
We got somebody in the chat already said Seattle, they went in the Super Bowl. So I got to agree with him.
I got to
agree with him. You know what? It's going to be tough. But we're going to talk about game time predictions versus New England in just a second. So if you take the Darnold route,
right,
5 teams, he was drafted in 2018. This is 2026. It took Darnold to get himself right. Coleridge, Bernard, Stroud, the fourth, has been in the league 3 years. So that means it's going to be another 4 years where you expect to get a decent game out of that cat. Texans, you going to hold on? You going to hold on to that garbage for 4 more years?
I can't see him doing what Darnold did. First of all, one thing about Darnold, he had his ups and downs, but he hung in there.
Yeah.
Because he got guts. Football is toughness, guts, and mental. That boy ain't got none of that. And H-Town Vic is taking it so personal. Like, man, you got to get over it. And if he don't step it up next year, he in trouble. And I really think that GM need to have the pressure on him, too. Listen, man, the guy have fits at practice. And they let him have his way. That's the problem. But nobody can say nothing to the quarterback. Only person I can see can say something is Will Anderson. And Will been having his back. But, Will, you got to pull that boy to the side.
Yeah, you got to get.
Because you the man. You are the future Hall of Famer.
Here's what I'm going to say to the Texans. Texas management, Texas fans, here's your new mantra. Here we go right here. I'm going to make sure we're looking at each other. Just say no, Stroud got to go. Just say no, Stroud got to go. If you want to win, just say no, Stroud got to go. So,
but here's my thing. Gerard Johnson, Coach Gerard Johnson, my little homie, they can't blame him. And it makes him look bad because Gerard is a hell of a quarterback coach. He was private quarterback coach for a lot of kids in the city before he got on in the NFL. And you can't blame him. And I'm understanding the owner did come out and say good things about Gerard, like he had Gerard back. Because, they're going to find somebody to blame. You can't blame Gerard. Coleridge just soft. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
too emotional.
I mean, they're keeping the offensive coordinator, so there's going to be some
I'm talking
continuity.
about the quarterback coach.
I know.
That's who need to go.
But, Noel,
Quarterback
here's
coach.
my thing.
Quarterback coach is good. My thing is this. Gerard had an interview, my understanding, last week with the Dolphins. He had an interview with Philly. We can stay in-house. Why y'all didn't want to hire him as the OC? Y'all always want to run against somebody from New England. The GM from New England and OC from New England. They under Belichick. Belichick get himself together. He don't get them guys prepared. They both horrible. They both need to go.
Well, there's something to be said for continuity, and we don't want to give Coleridge, Bernard Stroud IV the excuse of saying, I had 3 coordinators in 3 years. That's why I do a good job.
But you heard what Gruden said. Somebody on the show, he said, blame the offensive line. You can't keep blaming everything.
I know.
First of all, I went to the first game of the season just to evaluate him. He on a 2-yard line, 4 downs, and you didn't audible 1 time. This guy do not know how to audible. And then you threw the ball right
Third year in the league, don't know how to audible. That's
and he
the
had
problem.
the audacity to say he a top 5 quarterback at this Rookie of the Year.
Man.
Rookie of the Year. First of all, bro.
I think he was talking about Pee Wee ball, though.
Man,
definitely not NFL.
Everybody do good their first until they get film on your butt. And like I keep telling y'all, he's from Ohio State. Now, y'all thought that he was going to knock the curse out his first season. You just do not draft no quarterback at Ohio State. Now, if you play receiver in high school, play running back, anything on offense, it's good to go there because they sharp. But when it's time to go pro, quarterbacks don't do jack.
All right. So that's Patriots. Patriots beat the Broncos. Remember, before we move on, just say no. Stroud got to go. Patriots beat the Broncos in Mile High, 10-7, in an ugly game, bad weather conditions, that good stuff in the second half. Here's what I'll tell you. Once again, neither quarterback played well. Because when I say neither quarterback played well, Drake May, the winning quarterback, threw for 86 yards. And then Stedman's, the backup quarterback with the Broncos, Stidham, he threw for 133 yards, 1 touchdown, one interception. So, and it was a 10-7 game. So even the backup realizes, hey, I don't have to go in there and try to win the game. I just need to go in there and make sure with a defense like the Broncos got and a defense like the Patriots got, I just got to make sure I don't go in there and lose the game.
Well, you got to manage it, but you also got to realize the way the way the weather was in the first half wasn't nowhere, not the second half.
Right.
It was a blizzard. So you throwing for 86 yards. You can't even run. It was foggy, hard to throw. So, like you said, the main thing you got to run the ball good, manage the game real good. That weather was sloppy, and everybody thought it was going to be a cakewalk because Denver didn't have a starting quarterback playing. Even having the weather plays a role. Excuse me, weather plays a role. And I'm telling everybody, they thought Houston was just going to walk in there and beat Denver. It wasn't going to be like that. And the way that game was, man, Coleridge probably would have had 5 fumbles and 5 interceptions. Like I said off the air, they would have screwed that game up. Houston would not have won that game. Denver been in the Super Bowl. Straight up.
So that is set it up for a Seattle versus New England Super Bowl. You got a second-year head coach in the Seattle McDonald coach. You got a first-year head coach in New England, but not a first-year head coach, Vrabel. Coach in New England, got him back to the Super Bowl in year number 1.
And it's a rematch from the last time. Seattle let it go. Pete Carroll lost that. That was a whole nother.
So we're going to see.
But New England quarterback, he been playing bad the last 2 games.
He's a rookie. He's a second-year player.
It doesn't matter.
He's a second-year player.
He's going to have to step it up in the playoffs.
No, that's why I'm picking Seattle.
I'm sorry, the Super Bowl.
That's why I'm picking Seattle because
step it up.
New England is not going to be able to cover up the second-year Drake May. Good player, once again, but he's a second year, and what he's done through the first couple of games of the playoffs is he's made sure that he didn't lose the game for him.
Well, if it's low scoring, New England got a shot. But I still say Seattle win.
Right.
They win by field goal, but I got Seattle all the way.
So let's talk about